All right, this morning, a haircut, a slam dunk, and a real San Antonio barbecue. According to her agent, that is how Brittney Griner is spending her first weekend back on U.S. soil after she was detained in Russia for 10 months. Griner, as you know, landed in Texas on Friday after she was part of a prisoner swap. She'd been taken to a medical evaluation at a U.S. military base in San Antonio, and she has since moved into a more residential area. We were told she has a Christmas tree. Her agent says she's upbeat, she's thankful, she's hopeful. CNN's senior political correspondent and the anchor of Inside Politics Sunday, Abby Phillip, is here. Obviously, Abby, you interviewed Brittney Griner's wife, Cherelle, while she was detained. And so you know the family well, and you've been talking to her agent about what this experience has been like. And I just wonder what did she want to do when she got back? What are some of the ways she's been spending her time here?
It seems like, Caitlin, they're really just trying to kind of give her a taste of what her normal life was like. One of the very first things that she did was have a Dr. Pepper after getting off that plane. Look, it was a really emotional day for everyone involved. She was greeted when she landed by her wife and her agent. It was a very small group, but over the weekend, that group really expanded to include her broader family, who, I'm told spent many, many hours with her. They brought her that barbecue. One of the interesting things that I learned in talking to her agent over the weekend was actually while she was in Russia, her Russian lawyer, in an attempt to kind of make her feel a little bit more at home, learned how to make brisket for her and slow cooked brisket for her and gave it to her. It obviously was nothing like San Antonio barbecue, but she got the taste of the real thing this weekend. This is going to be a really long journey, and I think that everyone around her right now is focused on her physical rehabilitation. I'm told she is physically doing quite well, but also her psychological rehabilitation, making her feel more in control of her life. That's part of this, government program that other detainees like Trevor Reed have gone through. Brittney Griner is going to go through that program for as long as she wants it, really to try to rebuild her sense of self after detention.
This is obviously this would be a life-altering thing for anyone, Abby, right? I find this interesting, and I wonder how this changes her. My question is going to be, how does this change her into the future? You would expect, and it would be okay if someone wanted to go inside themselves and just close off. But I found it interesting that she wanted to immediately, even on the plane, reach out to other people, fight for other people. She said, I want to relate to people. So I'm wondering if this takes her in a different way into a similar direction as maybe, I know, Colin Kaepernick, where you fight for the larger thing rather than just the sport. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? That was one of the clearest things that I gathered from talking to people around her. And you even heard it from Cherelle when she was at the White House on Friday. This changes everything. Brittney Griner in the world of WNBA, in the world of basketball, is a pretty big name, a pretty big star. But I think even more so now, her notoriety is global, and she understands the responsibility that comes with that and has been pretty clear she wants to use what power she has to help other people. They are now part of this community. It's a community of families, dozens of them across the country, whose loved ones are detained all across the world. Some of those individuals never came home. They died in detention. And so I think the weight of that really, she carries that with her. And her agent told me that she asked about Paul Whelan immediately upon, being freed. And she's known for a long time or believed for a long time that her fate was very much tied to his. And I think was heartbroken that he was not brought home along with her. And so she's very committed to that particular case. But I was told is planning to use her platform, the bully pulpit that she has, to help others in the future. And that's going to change her approach to her public life. It's not just going to be activities in Phoenix that I think a lot of athletes participate in. I think it's going to have a global scope.
Hey, before you go, I just want to ask you real quickly, and maybe, I don't know if you can answer this. I'm sure they'll be paying attention to the Respect for Marriage Act being signed. I don't know if you got to question them about it, but can you react to that?
Well, I think that they are definitely going to be paying attention to that. I think that as a lesbian Black woman, they have become a really prominent, image of love in the LGBTQ community. And, one of the things, just on a personal note, meeting Sherelle and just seeing how much that love that they have for each other was able to withstand this incredible trial. Sherelle calls Brittany Griner her best friend. They were friends for a long time before they became a couple. And so for this to happen and for them to be reunited today, I think it's an important moment for both of them. And it's an important moment for the country. I will say, Dawn, I just want to add one thing. Her agent was really clear with me. She was like, I don't think that Brittany was treated differently because she was Black and she was lesbian in Russian detention. That's something I think a lot of people are paying attention to, and it was notable to me that she said that.
I saw that in your reporting. Very good stuff,
Yeah.
Abby. Yeah.